The highly anticipated Netflix documentary, Mr. McMahon, produced by the renowned Bill Simmons and Zara Duffy, is set to drop this Wednesday, September 25th, 2024. Featuring WWE legends like Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Eric Bischoff, Bruce Pritchard, and John Cena, the film promises a never-before-seen glimpse into the life and legacy of Vince McMahon. But with McMahon himself participating in the documentary, the real shock came when he broke nearly 20 months of silence on his X account to deliver a rare and fiery response, expressing his disappointment and anger over the film. "I don't regret participating in this Netflix documentary. The producers had an opportunity to tell an objective story about my life and the incredible business I built, which were equally filled with excitement, drama, fun, and a fair amount of controversy and life lessons. Unfortunately, based on an early partial cut I've seen, this doc falls short and takes the predictable path of conflating the Mr. McMahon character with my true self, Vince. The title and promos alone make it evident. A lot has been misrepresented or left out entirely in an effort to leave viewers intentionally confused. The producers use typical editing tricks with out-of-context footage and dated sound bites, etc., to distort the viewer's perception and support a deceptive narrative. In an attempt to further their misleading account, the producers use a lawsuit based on an affair I ended as evidence that I am, in fact, Mr. McMahon. I hope the viewer will keep an open mind and remember that there are two sides to every story. There are many questions that come from Vince's post, but before we ask them, let me take a second to ask for your like and subscription of this video and channel. Thanks. First, Mr. McMahon clearly participated in this documentary, along with WWE legends and current superstars. The million-dollar question is, what exactly did he see in the documentary that he didn't like? Did he actually preview the documentary himself, or was he informed about its content by someone within WWE? Second, this is a Bill Simmons documentary, and we all know Bill's style. He's highly opinionated when it comes to sports. There must be an element of humiliation and blame regarding Vince's past legal battles and the current case against him, brought by his former mistress, Janelle Grant. This case is currently on hold, as the government has requested Ms. Grant to pause her legal proceedings while they conduct their own investigation into Vince and World Wrestling Entertainment. Third, why is Netflix releasing the Vince McMahon documentary on a Wednesday night? For starters, Netflix and WWE have a forthcoming $5 billion partnership, where Raw will eventually air on Netflix. Could Netflix's decision to release the documentary on a Wednesday be an attempt to counter All Elite Wrestling, AEW, whose Dynamite airs on Wednesdays? AEW is heavily promoting its Grand Slam events for Dynamite and Collision on the same day the documentary is set to drop. Was this timing intentional on Netflix's part, perhaps in coordination with WWE? Lastly, speaking of the $5 billion partnership between Netflix and WWE, does this mean that Ari Emanuel and the TKO Group Holdings Board approved the release of this documentary to distance themselves from Vince McMahon, especially with a potential government investigation looming? There could be insiders within WWE who still communicate with Vince and provide him with updates about the company. Perhaps someone informed him that Ari and TKO approved Netflix's airing of the documentary before Raw moves to Netflix. If that's the case, it might suggest that TKO and WWE are trying to separate themselves from Vince, so any future government claims fall solely on him and not on the organization. On the other hand, any publicity, good or bad, is still publicity. People will watch the Netflix documentary and engage in discussions about both WWE and Vince McMahon online. Consider this. If WWE felt that the documentary painted them in a negative light, they would likely ask Netflix not to air it, as it could harm them and expose them to future lawsuits. Both WWE and UFC have strong brand identities, and if anything jeopardizes their reputation or brings them into potential litigation, they would almost certainly ask Netflix to halt the documentary's release and even pursue legal action if necessary. What do you think of everything going on? Will you be watching the documentary? Let us know in the comments area. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow for more. Thanks for watching.